For 14 years, I believed I was living a quiet, honest life. Then I unlocked my wife's phone and realized I had been the only one who didn't know the truth. I never imagined I would be telling this story. For most of my adult life, I believed I was one of the lucky ones. I had a stable job, a quiet home, and a wife I trusted with my entire heart. We had been together for almost 14 years, married for 8 of them. Our life wasn't flashy, but it was comfortable, and I thought it was honest. Her name is Leela. We met years ago when we were both studying in Vancouver, young and full of plans. She was calm, introverted, and always preferred staying in rather than going out. Even after we moved to a quieter suburb outside the city, nothing really changed. Our evenings were predictable in the best way. Dinner, a movie, sometimes just sitting together in silence. I used to think that kind of peace meant security. I was wrong. About 4 months ago, I noticed small changes. At first, they didn't alarm me. Leela started going out after work more often. Once, sometimes twice a week. She said it was with colleagues, team bonding, work stress. That alone wouldn't have bothered me, except she had never been that person. She wasn't the type to drink after work. She didn't enjoy noisy restaurants or late nights, yet suddenly she was getting dressed up, putting on perfume I didn't recognize, and leaving the house with a smile that felt unfamiliar. Still, I told myself I was overthinking. I wanted to be supportive. I wanted to be the husband who trusted his wife. She always texted when she arrived, always checked if I had eaten, always messaged when she was on her way home. On the surface, everything looked normal. But something inside me felt unsettled. One morning, while she was getting ready for work, her phone was charging beside our bed. A notification lit up the screen. Normally, I wouldn't touch her phone, but that morning my chest tightened for reasons I couldn't explain. I unlocked it. The first thing I saw was a group chat, names I barely recognized, people she'd mentioned casually before, coworkers and friends. Then I saw my name. Someone had written something like, "Are you still meeting him tonight?" And Leela replied, "Yes, he thinks I'm just out with friends." I remember staring at the screen, waiting for my brain to reject what my eyes were seeing. Then came the laughing reactions. That was the moment my hands started shaking. I kept scrolling. They weren't whispering. They weren't being careful. They were joking about it. About me. About how I had no idea what was going on behind my back. Then I opened another conversation, just between Leela and a man named Evan. That chat went back months. It started harmless enough, flirting, compliments, late-night messages. Then it crossed a line. Photos, explicit messages, plans to meet at his apartment after work. I saw words I will never forget. My wife describing intimacy with another man. I felt sick. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat there, frozen, while something inside me collapsed. 14 years. 8 years of marriage. And she had been living a second life while coming home to me like nothing was wrong. I didn't confront her right away. I don't know why. Maybe shock. Maybe fear. Maybe I needed time to accept that my reality had changed. Instead, I started watching her. Every lie became louder. Every smile felt rehearsed. Every "I'm just tired" sounded hollow. At night, she would sleep beside me, breathing peacefully, while eyes stared at the ceiling, replaying every message in my head. We had been talking about having a child next year. I kept thinking about that, how close we came to making a decision that would have tied us together forever, while she was already halfway gone. I took screenshots, not because I wanted revenge, but because I knew something important. If I confronted her without proof, she would deny it, she would minimize it, she would tell me I misunderstood. I needed the truth to stay solid. I needed reality to be undeniable. A week later, she came home late again. I asked her to sit down. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse her. I just said her name and told her I knew. For a moment, she said nothing. Then she cried. Not the kind of crying that comes from regret, but the kind that comes from being caught. She said it was a mistake. She said it didn't mean anything. She said she never planned to hurt me. I listened quietly. Then I told her something that surprised even me. I've already read everything. She stopped talking. The affair hurt. But what hurt more was realizing how easily she lied, how naturally she came home to me after being with him, how comfortable she was letting her friends mock my trust. That night, I slept in the guest room, and for the first time since we met, I felt completely alone, even though she was just a few steps away. Days later, while organizing the evidence, I saw a message I hadn't noticed before. It wasn't to her. It was from Evan to someone else. He was ending it. He said he didn't want to be involved with a married woman anymore, that it was getting too real. I stared at the screen, feeling something unexpected. Not relief, clarity. She hadn't chosen him over me. She had chosen escape, validation, attention, and when it stopped being fun, it was over. I haven't decided what comes next. I know one thing for certain. I am no longer the man who blindly trusts just because it feels easier. I am grieving, not just the betrayal, but the version of my life I believed in. Whether we rebuild or walk away, that life is gone. And sometimes, heartbreak isn't loud. Sometimes it's quiet. It's sitting in the dark, realizing the person you loved the most was never as close as you thought.